Hey, everybody, welcome. Dreaming of Diamond Team Call. We are so excited to have a special guest with us tonight. I'm going to do a little housekeeping very, very briefly, and then she's going to just, take it and run with it. We cannot wait. So, I want to remind you what's coming up for our team. So, obviously, our team call is happening right now. Tomorrow night, we have Kristen Allen, who's going to be live training with us. She has been spearheading our amazing Fill the Funnel challenge. And so I think we're going to hear a little bit more about that. But whatever she shares is going to be absolutely amazing. So if you're in a place where you have not, you're kind of wanting to get back into that Eric Worre vibe and you want to lean into what he's teaching, she has really stepped up in leadership and she's leading that for us. So that's available in Messy Action. So please, please, please check in with that. Um, we also on Tuesday, instead of our Thursday recruiting event, it's shifted to Tuesday because this is a call group that we have joined called Real People, Real Stories. And I volunteered us to host on Tuesday night. It is this Tuesday, and ironically, it's Kristen's time to shine. She is going to be speaking, and so is Marie Guccione, and we're so excited for that. So I'm going to be hosting along with Diamond Heather Burke, and that should be really, really fun. So we have those graphics circulating. I'm going to be circulating them again a little bit later tonight so that everyone knows how to join. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce somebody that I just love so much. She's become one of my very best friends. She's my true sideline. So we have the same sponsor. And so she is my sister, right? True sideline sister. And she's in Canada. She's a beautiful jewel ambassador in Canada, which that market, she's going to tell you more about it. I can't even speak to it. That's why I invited her on, but she's going to share with us what kind of an opportunity exists there, and you're just going to fall in love with her. So, without further ado, our little Canadian Barbie, Kim Jensen.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited that I can see so many faces that I know and love dearly, but I'm also excited because I can see so many names and faces that I don't necessarily know or haven't met in person yet. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Kim Jensen. I live in Canada. I'm about an hour and a half outside of Vancouver. So we're like on the West Coast. I've grown up here my whole life. And the way that I got introduced to Plexus was the same, actually, exactly as Sadie, was way back when you were allowed to post kind of uh, our opportunity in baby groups. And that's how I met my sponsor, who's in Texas, same as Sadie. And yeah, it was so Plexus for 11 years now, 11 and a half. And it honestly, at looking at the time that I joined, I had really no idea what I was getting myself into, had never been a part of any type of company like this, and really was not in a place that I was looking for a business. But it was definitely a God thing where it was just dropped in my lap. I took the products for the products and ended up feeling something so special that was going to come out of this, but I was in Canada and these products weren't available. I actually had to ship my products over the border. Actually, my first two shipments, I have, because I'm so close to the border, I have a mailbox that's across the border. And so I would ship things that weren't available to come to Canada. And I ended up having to go across the border and pick up my package, my first Plexus package. Fell in love with the products, and then decided, well, I have to get these. And that it was actually at that time that Plexus started allowing Canadians to start ordering and shipping it across the border. And so this was back in 2014. And it ended up that I was able to sign up, and it was a different sign up process back then. I was able to sign up and sell, and could still sell to my Canadian friends now that it was possible. And so since then, everything has changed so much. But the best part is that 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago now, I can't even remember, Plexus opened up in Canada. So we now have a corporate head office kind of area. We have an office, but it's 4 or 5 people. It's very small. We have two different warehouses in Canada now. So our products don't have to be shipped across the border anymore. We have our own product line. Most of our products are the exact same as your guys' products. a couple different ingredients, and then some of them are just not available because of the stuff going on with or just the way that Health Canada does our approval systems. So some of them we can get, but they are still come from American warehouses. But anywho, it's honestly so simple to to have an international team. So half of my team are Canadian, and half of them I actually have a huge team of mine in New Jersey. And we can do business together simultaneously because it's truly the exact same. And I get asked this all the time, like, how do I sign someone up um, that's in Canada? And I'm like, oh, it's the same. Like, honestly, it's truly the same. You go into your back office, and all you have to do to sign somebody up is you give them your same um, what's it called, your link to your account, and instead of saying plexusworldwide.com, you just put in plexusworldwide.ca, and it will take them to the Canadian sign up page, and everything is the exact same, all the way down to your guys's $10 fee, membership fee. Ours is 13 because that's the exchange rate. It's the exact same. So if you ever need to sign anybody up who is international, which I know I've helped Mandy do before, it is the exact same process. It is just on the Canadian website. It's so simple, so easy. And if anybody ever needs help with anything, definitely ask me, because I have made it my goal to help as many people as I can figure out signing people up in Canada, because way back when I first started, there was no resources for Canadians. And I have an American upline, and she didn't know anything about signing people up. She didn't know about the products in Canada. She did not know much. And so it was honestly just up to me to figure it out. And it took me forever because of that. I feel like it took me forever to get to the jewel level. But no matter what, even though it took me 9 years to get to Emerald, it does not make it any less special. I promise you. So if you guys are, 4 or 5 years in and you are feeling down about yourself because your journey looks so different than someone else's, never, ever give up. That is, you just never give up, because no matter what, it took me forever, and it is still worth it to be here now, 9 years later, well, 11 years now. But after 9 years getting to Emerald, it still felt the exact same as if it would have taken me a year or 2 years or 5 years or whatever. So that's what I always tell people. Never, ever give up, no matter what, because you can do it. I'm nothing special. I did it. You can do it. Like, no matter what, anybody can. So let's talk about Canada. I was doing actually a little bit of research for this just because I wanted to see if there was any difference between the US and Canada. And it looks like 75% of Canadians, so I don't know if this is actually true for Americans or not, but for Canada, 75% of people over the last 5 years in Canada have reported some type of gut issue. So I'm sure that it's probably very similar in the States as well. As we know, gut health is huge, and gut health is the key to everything. But Canadians are just figuring out the gut mind axis, as is everybody nowadays. Back 11 years ago when I started, if you told people that you could help their anxiety by having them take a probiotic because it was in their gut, because it was all connected to their gut, they would look at you like you had two heads. They would be like, what are you talking about? Like, you witchy lady, But now everybody's talking about gut health. It's huge. And so we have the products that can help those people, right? And I mean, we have the same products in Canada that you guys have in the US. So, like, Triplex is everything. That is what we talk about all the time. That is what we go for. And it is the best out of all of our products. That's what my team goes for the most. And, everybody's dealing with their gut health issues and their autoimmune, and it's awful. I have made it my goal every year to do at least 1 or 2 trade shows in Canada. And although, so it's probably the same for you guys. When you do a trade show, we just do like a table and have a sampling, and nobody in Canada knows what Plexus is. Nobody. when you do a booth at a trade show, they're like, "Oh, what's Plexus?" And I'm like, "You don't know? I got to tell you." And nobody knows. And I get this every time I do a trade show. Nobody knows the name Plexus. So I don't know if it's the same. And I mean, obviously, if you did it in Texas, I'm sure people would be like, "Oh, I've heard of it." It's not like that in Canada. Nobody knows what Plexus is. If you talk to people about Arbonne, they definitely know what Arbonne is. Monet, however you say that, the hair thing, the hair company, people know what that is. Nobody in Canada knows about Plexus. So we are untapped. This is like the bottom level of Canada. And there are actually, like, our corporate head office is actually, a lot of the time we have different incentive codes because they're really trying to hype up Canada and get Canada going because we truly are at the very bottom level still. And we're only 6 years in. And so we gotta, if like any one of you could be the next like Celeste in Canada, you're one person away from signing up maybe a whole entire Canadian team. Um, and so we're really lucky in the sense that we get to be here at the bottom level of Canada. And where was I going with my trade shows? Um, oh, whenever I talk to people during trade shows, you would be shocked at just the sheer amount of people. You ask them if they have any type of gut health issue or if they have any digestive issues, and every single person that you ask will be like, yes, yes, yes. And it is until you have that, like, that experience of talking to different people from all different walks of life, and every single person is like, yeah, that's me, yeah, that's me. It's shocking, and it really puts you in your place, like, wow, we really have something for everyone in this company. Like, we can help anybody and everybody with what we have to offer. And so um yeah, I mean, oh, I just these
Okay,
trade shows.
so
So something that I sorry, Sadie.
no, go. I was
Um, what I
gonna
was going to
ask
say
the,
about
the
trade shows
question
is
whenever you're
that,
done. Yeah.
like I said, I try to do one or two a year. And when I do them, very rarely do I make the amount of money that it costs to put the trade show on. Like, let's say it's $500 plus, setting up everything. And very rarely do I make my money back in the sense where, I'm signing. I think the last trade show that I did, I signed 9 people over the 3 days. And so, as much as that is great to sign 9 people, do you know how many people I got as like after the fact to follow up with? Hundreds, hundreds of people that I have followed up with. And so probably over the last year, I haven't done a trade show since last October. Um, and I have probably out of let's say 20, I probably signed 20 people over the year from that trade show. Just following up with them and then, sending them an email or a text or something like that. Because even though I didn't make my money back in that same month, I bet you I made my money back over the year. And also I'm able to get the products out there and get the name out there. And, any little bit of marketing, even if it's one little weekend a year, any bit of marketing for Plexus opens the door for people to be able to maybe a friend of theirs will be like, well, I'm just taking this new pink drink thing. And then they'll hear about Plexus through them and maybe they'll sign up. Maybe they're not even going to sign up through me, but even just getting the Plexus name out into Canada is so important because we're so ground level and we're so bottom. So anyways, go ahead, Sadie.
I was just gonna say, I want everyone to be brainstorming any connections you have in Canada. Okay. Like I know when I listen to this, I'm like, I don't know anybody. I don't like you're right. You might not know someone now, but keep it in the forefront because what she's telling you, I know you're listening, but what she's telling you is people don't know about it. All it takes is one person. And yes, you could be the person creating the ripple if you're just networking the right way. It doesn't take, like, look how you got introduced yourself, right? Somebody was like, do you feel bad? Like, how about this, right? And so I want to mention too, locals here in Missouri, in St. Louis area, I don't know how big your trade show is that you're talking about, Kim, but the Working Women Survival, that happens, I've had ambassadors do that. It's very successful for them. I don't remember even the amount of money. 500 feels, I don't know, Kim. I mean, maybe that's a normal amount. In Kansas City, you want to look at like larger, and it's not always all about women, but we know that women are what? More open, nervous stomach, want to look, want to feel and look better, and generally just more conversational. Okay. We can sell this
Yes.
to men, we can sell this to anybody.
Um,
Go
so
ahead.
yeah, my trade shows always I are either natural health or they are women's
Okay.
shows. So same thing.
Okay.
Because you want to really hone in on the market that you're looking at. Or
Mhm.
another, I haven't ever done one, but another successful one is wedding
Mm.
shows, right?
Okay. So, guys, we want to make sure, and Marie, or sorry, Kim, Marie had a question about how you capture their information. Would you share that?
During the trade shows, you mean?
Yeah.
So either talking to them and I have a that I just actually just figured out to make on my own, a QR code, a
Perfect.
QR code that goes to my information so that they can save it. But I also have business cards that they can take. And then I also have, I think I actually have it right here in my desk. I have these little, I do a giveaway at the end of a triplex system. And I got these off of Amazon and it says good luck. And then it has
Cute.
enter to win. And so I have a little box and I just say like, oh, if you're interested, like, but you're not ready to order it yet, here, put your information in, and I'm drawing one at the end of the weekend. And then this amount of like this information gives me the way to, follow up with them. And I have like 100 in here, like in my desk people just from last October of people that I follow through with. And then, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna stop following up with them until they say, don't contact me anymore.
Um,
The nicest way possible.
yeah. Yeah. And there are, if you guys are interested in a trade show, I just want to say this because it sounds like, Kim, is that a big way that you're networking? Like, it sounds like
Not
we
necessarily.
see that.
It's honestly just a way for me to get the Plexus name out there. So, I mean, another way is I have like a little tiny, very small Plexus sticker on my vehicle so that people at my kids' school, at the park, anybody can ask me about it or talk to me about it if they're like, oh, I love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like little tiny ways to just market Plexus while I'm out and about that aren't necessarily, like me wearing a big flashing Plexus sign,
Yeah.
which I'm not. I mean, I probably would do that too, but not
Um,
opposed.
So, guys, if you're interested in this, there's a million different ways. The thing that's great about what we do is you can lean into what feels great to you, right? You might think, oh, farmer's market. You might think, oh, hair show, bridal show, the working women stuff. Like, I went and sat at it was this court reporter thing. It was like my neighbor asked me to do it, so I did. It was like very cheap, but like she's right. Anything that we can do to be just that educational arm a little bit too, right? We're put together, we're friendly. Here's a sample, that kind of a thing, and then harvesting the contact information is good. I personally, I get them on my Facebook right away. Like I get them when I'm there. I'm like, okay, they can fill something out, and I don't know if Tanya is listening to this, and Mandy knows probably too. Like, I love supporting these. I'm not as like a lead on them typically, but I'm gonna change that. Like, you're kind of like inspiring me. So if you guys are interested in this, let's all talk about it, privately. Does anyone have questions for Kim? I think she's covered that the products are essentially the same. People can purchase products to share about the opportunity in Canada, but also there's a back page, correct, where all the
Yes.
products are available, right? That's called what is it?
We have
NFR.
the NFR, so not for resale.
Okay.
And we can get all of the American products on that aren't available in Canada, like for sale. And that's why it's called not for resale. So we can still order the American products, but there is a limit of three. If you
Okay.
needed three of anything more, um, then you can only order three at a time. And
Okay.
that's just because we're not allowed to sell them, whatever.
Okay.
But yes, still available. And yeah, we do have the exact same products as you guys for the most part. So like there's no different if your jam is triplex, then it still is the exact same in Canada. Or, if you love your Metaburn Slim, it's the exact same in Canada. So it's easy for you guys to be able to talk. If you have friends that are Canadian, it's easy for you to be able to be like, hey, it's the same. So you
Right.
you, you can still do your same spiel and whatever. Another huge thing that is big in Canada right now is our taxes are skyrocket high. They're at an all-time high, and everything else is at an all-time low. And so I did some research today looking at how many Canadians are actually interested in some type of a side gig, and it's upwards of 30%.
Wow.
30% of people are needing to come up with a plan in Canada to figure out a way to make more money. And side gigs are what they're interested in. So I know for me, I didn't know that stat. So I'm like gonna hit it hard with my team to really capitalize on that as well. And I think the thing that is kind of across the board in all MLM type companies is that people don't want to be sold to. So you have to get away from being salesy and stick to just being yourself and telling your story to your people and networking in a very authentic way, because nobody wants to feel like just another sale and nobody wants to feel like they're being sold to. And so you just need to come about it in just a very real, like telling your story way, because you are your business.
Mhm.
Nobody on your network wants to hear about me. They want to hear about you. That's why they follow you. So just remember that you really just don't want to be salesy.
Yeah. No, that's good. And so as a call to action, they're expecting this because this is what I normally do. As a call to action, I want you to think about people that you know in Canada, but also we're going to take it a step further. Okay. Because, yes, obviously, we want to be thinking about that. When we're interacting in Facebook groups, whatever those look like, we want to be really aware of who is living in Canada. And she's right. It's not a matter of selling, it's a matter of saying, I don't know if this could be interesting to you, but I'm learning how amazing this brand is doing in Canada. Can you guys hear me? Okay, am I okay? Okay. It said it was unstable. So, it's really about connecting genuinely, but also I want you, this is the call to action, your customers, your teammates, ask them, right? The ones that aren't on here right now. Like, hey, I weirdly, like, do you know anybody that's living in Canada right now? Do you know anyone that we could talk to? Because I'm excited and interested about learning more about connections we might have there as a team. I don't know, Kim, like, what do you think that would do? I mean, do you think that that's good just to kind of go organically through, teammates that we currently have? Or is there a way that you could think of outside of that? I know that you live in Canada, so you're like, it's a little bit different, but I mean, what would you say about how somebody could, brainstorm about making connections in Canada other than the online route? Is there anything?
Other than the online route, no, I was going to
Yeah.
suggest going into, find some Canadian Facebook groups, and just like I teach my team to add 10 new people a day on Facebook. Because let's be honest, I use Instagram and Facebook for my business, but it's mostly Facebook. I mean, I don't always get a lot on Instagram because they're two completely different markets, and I just know Facebook a lot better. So I teach my team to always add 10 people a day, and people that they don't know. And that way, when you post about your story and your plexus journey on Facebook, um, then you will see, like, they'll see your stuff. And I have gotten a lot of my customers that way. And I mean, I reach out to those people eventually as well, but I like to give them a little push into my market before I just jump on the gun and tell them about plexus, right?
Yeah.
So just start adding Canadians to your team, to your Facebook. Like, why not? Just
Hey,
try it out.
you are hearing it from the horse's mouth, okay? Like you need to do this. And she's mentioned it before, but our sponsor, we did not know. Like, we didn't know at all. Like, we met her in a group. So think about that. Think about what came from someone joining a group, connecting in a group to people that she didn't know, and look at the ripple effect just on this screen, right? But we know it's way bigger than what's on the screen. We know that it's happening in your business. We know it's happening in the businesses you're creating. So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, ask your team and like if they have any friends or family, or this also can totally apply to Mexico, Australia, and now Japan as well. So I mean, that's what I've been talking with my team about too. Like, who do we know in Australia? Who do we know who maybe lives abroad in Japan or in Mexico even? And so it applies to all. I mean, those, I know that those markets are a little bit different just because they have a couple different products. So it's not quite as same as Canada, but yeah, I would say definitely find, random, search it up on Facebook, random Canadian groups, or whatever, and just add
Canadian
people from those.
crocheters,
Yeah. Or just
Canadian
like, pretend you're interested on Canadian vacations or something and find a Facebook group and
curly-haired Canadians, anything, right?
yeah, whatever interests you where
Yeah,
you live, find the same group or whatever, look through your interest groups on Facebook and then find the same groups in Canada.
love it. And I think we can all do that. That's another call to action, right? Join a group, right? Join a group. Find out who, think about who you know, work with your current customers or teammates, but also join a group yourself and do it in the next 24 hours. Don't wait, right? It takes zero mental effort to join a group. You can always leave the group. Like if it's like gets super weird, or I don't know if anybody's in a parasite group, but that takes a special person. I've stuck it out, but like obviously maybe Canadian parasite group. I don't know if you're into that.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, Kim, thank you so much. I don't know if anyone has any questions for Kim, but I'm gonna stop recording and thank you, Kim.